Hello everyone, welcome to We Love Soaps TV. I'm Roger Newcomb, and I'm here with the talented Eric Sheffer Stevens, best known to soap fans as the snarky but lovable Dr. Reid Oliver on As the World Turns. So we'll get to Reid in a minute, but I want to just talk a little bit about your background. You were born in Northern California, moved around, ended up in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, I went to high school in Danbury.
Danbury
High School.
And then you've pretty much been in New York ever since college?
Yeah, except for a stint in grad school in Alabama for 2 years, from 98 to 2000. I was at Alabama Shakespeare Festival, which is affiliated with the University of Alabama, so, which is why I'm a huge Alabama football fan as well.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm originally from Tennessee. So that's really, although
we can just gloss over that.
I was very contrary as a kid, so I sort of just liked Michigan, just to annoy everybody I knew.
Completely.
They bleed orange there, so.
Yeah, I know, really.
So
it's
yeah.
Rocky Top.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out for me in recent years though.
It's gonna come back around.
Yeah. So you came to New York. You've been doing you've done a lot of theater. You've done a lot of films.
Not a lot. I've done a handful of
A handful
of projects.
Look, I saw a few clips online. They were kind of funny. The ones I saw, the kind of comedies.
I'm not sure. I mean,
there was one. I think it was a film. You were at a table there were two couples, and the waitress comes up and she's like totally obnoxious. She makes Reid look like a really
that's Hillary Duff. It's a film called Greta. That was a couple years ago.
Right.
I've never seen the footage from that actually.
Oh, I saw it on YouTube.
I'll go to it.
She's very much like a Reid character. She's like
she's very crabby.
If you don't give me your order right now, you're never.
And at first we thought she was joking, and then she wasn't. She's just like that. Yeah, I did one that's coming up now, Multiple Sarcasms, which was Timothy Hutton and Mira Sorvino, and he's a playwright, and I play him. He writes an autobiographical play that's produced, and I play him in the play. So there's a lot of footage of me. It's going to take place in the 70s. Big hair, and
wow.
That was fun actually. That was a really nice project. So.
And you've also, as a New York actor, you've done the Law and Orders. That's like a prerequisite for everyone.
It's sad that's no longer going to be around. The Criminal Intent is still shown, but the original one is not.
Well, luckily those shows stay on forever, so you'll have a chance to do it like 3 or 4 more times before Criminal Intent goes off.
Hopefully, yeah. They have a every 2-year rule, I think. So
yeah,
I'm just about that kind of point. So.
My friend does the special effects makeup, so if you're ever a corpse, she'll be the one that does that.
Oh, I got killed in one. They found me after floating in the ocean for days, so they had to do all this latex, and they popped an eye out and all this stuff, and then I was on the table, and they found me. And I sat there for 4 hours doing all the special effects makeup.
Nice. And you've obviously done a lot of theater. I've seen it. I saw in an interview you said this was your first love, doing theater.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's how a lot of people come to it initially. And but as I've gotten into other things, it's still something I know that's what I want to be doing when I'm an old man. I mean, I want to be doing theater. I always want to have that as part of my life. So. Yeah. So that's I started with that in college. And so, those have been the majority of the jobs that I've done.
What did you want to be as a kid? Like, did you think about acting at all as a kid?
Not until high school, I think. But I don't know if I did any more than anybody else does. I think that's a common thing, like being a fireman, or being a surgeon or something like that most people eventually let go of. And I did it. I didn't do it in high school because we just did musicals, and it's not something people don't pay me to do. And so I started doing it in college, and really loved it. I had a fantastic teacher there, and started to pursue that.
What did your parents say? Were they like, yeah, that's great, or did they say, you need to be a doctor?
No, they were very supportive. They never guided me, or they just supported me with whatever I wanted to pursue. I went into college as a math major. They were happy with that. I switched to a lit major. I was pursuing acting at the same time. They never discouraged me from it or told me it would be really hard to make a living. Those things are self-evident. So they knew I knew what I was getting into. They supported. They would drive out and see new plays, and they've always been really fantastic at it.
You debuted on As the World Turns as Reid in January.
Right.
When did you start? Like November?
Yeah, right. We were about 2 months in, so the beginning of November.
Did you screen test with Van? Or
Yeah, I think the third time I read. The first time I read was just Mary Clay, who was the casting director there, and second time Chris Gottman was there, and along with Mary Clay and the reader, and then I think the third time, I'm pretty sure, they brought Van to read with. It was down to 3 people, I think, at one time. So.
was the audition like a really snarky scene?
It was exactly who he is. It was not a scene that we ended up using. It was just something that somebody wrote for and they had changed the name, but it was exactly that character. Van is asking him about why he's leaving so soon, and he wants to go play tennis or something. Tennis never figured into Reid's character, but it was the same kind of one line. It was a little sarcasm. Yeah.
Had you done any soap work before?
I had done a day, 3 or 4 scenes as a vineyard owner on something else. Maybe one left to live.
I'm trying to think who has a vineyard. I can't remember.
No, it was some couple runs away to California, and they're in my shack, and I'm upset about it or something, and I don't know. It was just one of those.
Have you played a character like this before? Like the really snarky, I'm great and everybody needs to bow down to me?
I don't think so.
So it's not typecasting or anything.
Right. No, I don't. I've definitely not played anything like him. Definitely, probably characteristics that he has or I've shared with other people. But he's definitely a unique character in my experience, which is what made it so fun for me. It was really well written and fun to do. And so it was, I liked that, the way he didn't know how to interact with people, and how his only kind of way of dealing was to be sarcastic or to say something funny. And they wrote really good stuff, and all the eating stuff and talking with his mouth full all the time. It started out, that was their idea, and then as it went on, anytime there was food on set, I would grab it and start shoving it in my face and talking through it or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong soap fan, and they bring a lot of characters on. They're really obnoxious or they're really bad, and then they show us softening them over time.
Yeah.
But usually it's directly related to a love interest, and always a female love interest because there are not that many gay storylines. But the fact that Reid, he had battles with Luke, but he was also battling with Bob. I thought that made it really interesting and unique.
Yeah,
because Bob is, the pillar of society.
Right.
And, I think for me, the day, it was pretty early on, Reid went to court and you said, I want to get out of Oak Hill. That kind of, you had me at Oak Hill. I was like, this is cool. And the fact that he's saying these things to Bob makes it even more interesting and unique.
Well, he started out, I think, a lot more well-rounded than maybe they usually do, because right away he was interacting. He didn't just have the Luke Noah storyline, the blindness thing, but he said, clashing with Dr. Bob, which is really fun because I love Dunn. That guy's amazing. I really admire him. And also right off the bat clashing with Trent, with Henry, and which was another kind of thing. So he had a foil to play off of instead of just being the guy, the third wheel of the Luke Noah romance. And so that was fun, and it was really fun to do the stuff with Trent because he and I worked together 6 years ago. We did a play down in Baltimore together, so I knew.
Which play was that?
We did George Bernard Shaw's Misalliance.
I think I saw that.
Down in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Center Stage?
Yeah, I saw one Trent show down in Baltimore. I think that was it.
He did. He's did that. He did a Moliere down there. He might have done Tartuffe. That was right afterwards.
Yeah, Trent's amazing. I've seen him in so many different shows that were radically different characters, and
that's why he's so great on the show. He's a great character actor. He's a great, he's just a great actor, and he's very inventive, and he comes up with really funny stuff to do, and does great takes, and he has a very solid background.